First of three qualifying heats now coming out for the Thunderstock division. This one brought to you by Caledonia Auto Supply. Starting in the front row, the 88 of Dale Jacari and the 23 of Trevor DeBoer. Row number 2, the 0x0 of Mike Ferguson, the 93 of Melissa Miller. Row number 3, the 56 of Derek Lemaire and the 81 of Carl Salt. Dave Silverthorne Jr. back in the Thunderstock tonight. He's in row number 4 on the inside in car number 9, and the 4K of Jake O'Leary, and then back in row number 5 in car number 15, it's Reese George. So 9 cars in this one. 8 laps will be the distance. In Caledonia Auto Supply heat race number 1, we've got 3 heats of Thunderstocks, 2 heats of Bombers. Then we'll have our crate sprints, and then first segment for the monster trucks, so stay tuned for that.
Here we go, heat 1 for the Thunderstocks underway. Trevor DeBoer, the 23 car, who over the last month or so has really picked up his game. He leads down the back straightaway. Lemaire has taken second away from Ferguson. Then Salt, who finished second in the point standings, trying to catch Ferguson for that third spot.
Down through corner 1 they go with Trevor DeBoer, your leader. Derek Lemaire there in second. The 81 of Carl Salt in third. He was second place in points at the end of the season. So a step runner in that 81 is Dale Jacari. The pole sitter has problems. He'll take it to the pit area.
Tough break for Dale, who's had a good season in that 88 car, especially earlier in the season as he contended for feature wins. Up front right now, it's DeBoer, then the 56 of Lemaire. Those two have broken away, but Salt is starting to catch both of them. Behind them, Ferguson and then Dave Silverthorne Jr. back in the Thunderstock here tonight. The 2013 Thunderstock champion here at Oshweekon, and he overtakes Ferguson for the 4th spot now.
Here comes Lemaire making a run down to the inside of leader Trevor DeBoer, coming off of corner number 4. DeBoer running a solid season in that 23 machine. He's at the front of this one with DeBoer Lemaire right in his tire tracks.
So DeBoer and Lemaire up at the front of this one. Then Salt third, Silverthorne 4th. Ferguson doing a good job. The rookie driver in the 5th spot right now. And the 4K Jake O'Leary back there outside the top 5, but he's doing a solid job after only a start or 2 here at Oshweekon in his career.
The battle on the track is at the front of the field. It's the best battle right now. Here comes Derek Lemaire working the inside of Trevor DeBoer through 3 and 4 and down the front straightaway. DeBoer leading at the line over Lemaire.
2 laps to go now for DeBoer, as Lemaire has tried a couple of different lines through corner 3 and 4 especially to try to gain some ground on DeBoer. He does gain some ground in corner 3 every time, but cannot get close enough to DeBoer to make a pass. White flag out now for DeBoer in the Timpson Auto 23.
One more time around. DeBoer works it through corner number 3. Lemaire right there. A pair of Camaros at the front of the field. They'll work it down the backstretch and see the checkered flag this time getting by the lap car of Reese George.
So George gets up out of the groove and lets the leaders come by. Checkered flag out for DeBoer. He gets the win. Second will be Lemaire. Third is Salt. 4th in his Thunderstock return, Dave Silverthorne Jr. Then 5th will be Ferguson. 6th will be Melissa Miller. 7th will be O'Leary. And 8th will be Reese George.
Second qualifying heat for the Thunderstock. Row number 5, the 48 of Mike Graham. So again, we've got this heat and one more for the Thunderstocks. 2 heats for the Bombers. A couple of crate sprint car heats. And then our first segment for the monster trucks. They're going to have a wheelie competition, so stay tuned for that. I know we've got a lot of monster truck fans here tonight ready to see them cut loose all that horsepower. We're ready to go with 8 cylinders of stock car fun here with Adam Hallett bringing them to the green flag with Derek Liverance on the outside of the front row, and we are underway.
Adam Hallett had a promising run go south on him last week in that 18 car. He is quick over the last couple weeks in that car, though, but he sees Ken Sargent make a run to the inside, then Jim Lampman, who's also been quick over the last month or so in that 3rd spot, making a run on the lead.
Sargent grabs the lead at the line. Jim Lampman will follow suit down the inside of Adam Hallett and kind of drifts up towards the 18. Not sure that they touched, but it caused Hallett to bobble a little and open the door for Logan Schwedek. So Hallett gets shuffled back to 4th.
Here comes Steve Hess trying to shuffle Hallett back as well. Then Mortensen and Hoffman as well. So Hallett is in danger of losing a few more positions here. Up front, it's Sargent leading the way over Lampman. Those two have taken off from the rest of the field for the moment.
So Sargent will work it off of corner number 4 with Lampman in second. This qualifying heat brought to you by the Burger Barn. Heat race number 2. Sargent, your leader at the line on lap number 3. 5 to go. Lampman in second. And then behind the top 2, it's a bit of a hornet's nest as you got 6 cars in there going at it. Hallett right now in 3rd, Schwedek 4th, but he's feeling pressure from Hess and Huffman.
Yeah, Hallett's done a good job to recover and get back past Schwedek now as he holds off the rest of the field. Hess has not been able to get around Hallett either and now falls back as Huffman gets around him for that to put Hess out of the top 5 for the moment.
3 wide for the moment off of corner number 2. Schwedek in the middle. Huffman trying to work that outside line in that bright yellow Monte Carlo number 13. They go side by side. Here comes Steve Hess down the 777X. He'll work the inside line across the stripe. Huffman has the spot. He holds down 4th.
Lampman had gained a bit of ground on Sargent but lost it in turns 1 and 2. But Lampman is now within striking distance on your leader, Ken Sargent, in the 25. They'll get the 2 to go signal this time by from flagman Kyle McKenzie.
Sargent leads, but Lampman is right there keeping pace. The Camaro killer is what they call that 28 car, the Monte Carlo. He's got a Camaro in his sights, going to eat it up. It's Ken Sargent leading the way, coming to the white flag.
Sargent still leads. Lampman doing everything he can here, but the track is pretty hammered down right now. Hard to gain a whole lot of ground, especially on those strong Club 54 machines. So Sargent continues to lead with the white flag in the air.
Final time through 3 and 4 here in Burger Barn. Heat race number 2. Ken Sargent will lead them across the stripe. She'll give the win to Sargent over Lampman. Then it will be Adam Hallett coming home in 3rd over Casey Huffman, Logan Schwedek, Jens Mortensen, Steve Hess, Derek Miller, and then the 48 of Mike Graham and the 40 of Derek Liverance. So that completes Burger Barn Heat race number 2, 3rd and final qualifying heat for the Thunderstocks, ready to head out onto the speedway. Want to welcome everyone watching at home.
From that heat, Ken Sargent, they were changing gears here last night in the pits during our go-kart night, so the gear change certainly looked to work for the Club 54-25 of Ken Sargent. Also in the last heat, number 18 of Adam Hallett showed on Facebook today pictures of 12 stitches. Not sure if he talked about that. He's got a nasty gash on his leg he's racing through here tonight.
Starting lineup for heat race number 3. This one brought to you by Metalworks Powder Coating. Starting in the poles, the champion for 2016, Dave Bailey in the 49, driving that Brewster Baker paint scheme. With the outside, the 88K is Caleb O'Leary. Row number 2 on the inside, the 13X of Craig White and the 16 of Jeremy May. Row 3, the 7 of Jason Langaro and the 84 RK of Ryan Beagle. Row 4, the 8 of Ryan Denning, 3rd place in points in 2016, and the 66 of Brady Longboat. And back in row number 5, followed by his lonesome, the 92 of Travis Torelli. Again, this one brought to you by Metalworks Powder Coating. Coming to the green flag, Dave Bailey. The champ for 2016 repeats as he was the 2015 champ as well. He leads them and pulls away from the field going down the backstretch.
Well, Bailey with a good run here in the 49, leading the May 16 as Bailey brings it back down the front straightaway. Beagle to the inside of him as they battle for the top 3 spots.
Bailey had a very good week in the last, make it 2 or 3 weeks, but he clinched 2 championships last weekend here at Oshweekon on Friday night, and then he clinched the championship down the Merrittville Speedway as well. So the Gibbs Action Sports 49 team has been one to beat, and he leads this one on lap 2.
Well, the other thing we want to talk about, he was protested last week at Merrittville for the transmission. It took until Tuesday or Wednesday, but we got the word the all call was clear, and Bailey's transmission passed all tests. So that's always extra sweet when you can win the championship, get protested, and have everything come out clean. And a good weekend, as you mentioned, Greg, for Dave Bailey.
The week before that, he'd gone 4 wins in 6 nights of racing. So Dave Bailey has had a good stretch going on here in that 49 machine. He leads over Jeremy May. Ryan Beagle with a solid performance here tonight, running third in that 84 RK as he's holding off Ryan Dinning and Jason Lingaro.
So the top 4 from these qualifying heat races will redraw for the top 12 starting positions tonight. Bailey solidly in that one. May, Beagle also hanging around there with the number 8 of Ryan Dinning for those redraw spots here tonight. Lungaro just 1 position out of the redraw as they run now with 5 complete.
Down the backstretch goes Dave Bailey in the Gibbs Action Sport Window Works number 49. He leads it through 3 and off of corner 4 to complete lap number 6, this time by 2 to go for Brewster Baker.
Bailey on the move here through 1 and 2. No issue for him as they run right now smooth and steady down the back straightaway. Here comes Bailey in the 49 looking for the white flag.
Leader works it around Travis Torelli down the front stretch and into corner number 1. Brewster Baker, Dave Bailey leading the way. Jeremy May now feeling the pressure, and this is where the battle is at. Ryan Beagle all over the back end of that Monty Boo right there in that second spot. As they work down the back stretch, they'll go side by side.
May pushes up a bit higher, and that brings Beagle to the inside as he tries to put that Gen 3 Camaro down along the inside as they bring it off of turn number 4, and it will be May ahead of Beagle, Dinning, and Longaro for the top 5, with Dave Bailey, the champion, grabbing the qualifying heat race. He will be in the redraw tonight.
So Dave Bailey picks up Metalworks Powder Coating Heat Race win number 3.
Run number 10, 4K of Jake O'Leary, the 777X Steve Hess. Then it's the 88K of Caleb O'Leary. 15, Reese George. 38, Derek Miller. 92, Travis Torelli. 88, Dale Jacari. 48, Mike Graham. 66, Brady Longboat. 40, Derek Liverance. And 71 of Bobby Mercer. Here we go. Green flag in the air with Ryan Dinning leading us through corners 1 and 2 the first time.
Top 3 in points from this season in reverse order at the front of the field. Ryan Dinning, your leader, over Carl Salt and Dave Bailey as they work it off at corner number 4, this time about to complete the first lap.
No handicapping in effect tonight. These drivers would have started 17th, 18th, and 19th or thereabouts. Tonight they start in the top 6, and they're up in the top 3 now. Dinning leading the way, then Salt and Bailey, as Bailey up on the top side trying to get a run on Salt. Here comes Trevor DeBoer up in the fight in the 23 car.
Trevor DeBoer has really turned the Jets on here midway part of the season and on, and he has been up there in contention on a weekly basis. Wouldn't be surprised to see the 23 in victory lane before this one's over.
Carl Salt in the 81 car kicks it sideways out of corner 4. Bailey still working on a way to get past the driver of the number 81 car. Trevor DeBoer to the inside on Bailey, but now Bailey gets a run out of corner 2, and they go side by side for second.
So Salt and Bailey at it. DeBoer right there all over the back end of the 81 of Carl Salt as they work it off at corner 4. DeBoer tucked in behind Salt, trying to work the inside line to get by Dave Bailey into third spot.
Trevor DeBoer actually was the quickest of the 4 cars on the last lap at 19.87, but he's stuck there behind those top 3 who are very quick machines as the yellow flag now comes out. May and Silverthorne get tangled up in corner 2. Those drivers were in the top 10 at the time of that incident.
So both cars will get things turned around and rejoin the field. 4 laps on the board, 16 laps left to go. In our final race of the night,
to run up on that cushion whenever possible in the Brewster Baker 49. Here we go again. Green flag out, 16 to go in this one as Dinning gets a good start.
Dinning, your leader on the bottom. Bailey now tucked right into the inside line with Carl Salt now shuffled to the outside line. Trevor DeBoer staying right there with them, and now Jim Lampman, who's running 5th. He's trying to catch those top 4, not let them get away, but here they go.
Salt, Bailey, and DeBoer, and now Jim Lampman starting to make up some ground in the 28 car as they all go after the number 8 of Ryan Dinning. Salt in the middle groove now gets a run on Dinning at turn 3.
Dinning keeping it tight to the wall through the corners. Here comes Salt working the outside line. These three were top 3 last week as well in the championship battle. They're going at it again. Really impressed again by DeBoer, though, hanging with those top 3. When you can race with these 3 guys, you can race with anyone.
Definitely, and DeBoer looks like maybe he's just waiting for one of them to make a mistake here, as he's poked his nose in there a few times, has run quick laps, but just kind of hanging out right now. The race still with more than half the distance to go here for the driver in the 23 car, as the top 4 have broken away from the rest of the field.
Stand by will complete lap number 8. 12 left to go with Dinning your leader. Bailey, Salt side by side. Then is Trevor DeBoer in 4th. 5th right now is Jim Lampman, with 6 being the 25 of Ken Sargent. 7th is Derek Lemaire. 8th, Ryan Beagle. 9th, Jason Lungaro. And 10th is Adam Hallett.
Dinning just ran his quickest lap of the race the last time by. We'll see what Bailey can do now that he's gotten around to the inside of Salt, and Bailey holds 2nd for the moment. Salt back to 3rd, then DeBoer in 4th, and Jim Lampman rounding out the top 5 as they come up to the halfway signal this time.
Lap traffic about to play a factor for these leaders as they work it down through corner number 4 to the cross flags. 10 and 10 to go. Reese George will be the first lap car in front of the leaders in car number 15. We'll see how this all shakes out as George right in the line that Carl Salt wants to be in. Where are they all going to fit? Salt had to let out just momentarily to get by.
And now it looks like both Bailey and Salt have made up some ground again on Dinning, as Salt and Bailey split the lap car of Travis Torelli there. Into heavy traffic now is Dinning and the rest of this lead group.
Dinning works by more lap traffic. Keeps Dave Bailey in tow. Bailey, whoa, they all make contact there. Bailey shoots to the outside line around Graham and now draws up even with the 8 of Ryan Dinning, but 2 lap cars right in front of the leader. Where are they going to go? They split around the Liverence 40 machine. What a pass.
Wow, 4 wide as Dinning and Bailey race for the lead. Now some clear track ahead as Dinning and Bailey race side by side as they have so many times here in the past. Bailey leads lap number 13, but here comes Dinning again.
What a fight at the front of the field. They all made it through the lap traffic somehow, and the top 4 broken away. There's 2 lap cars between Trevor DeBoer in 4th and 5th place, the 28 of Jim Lampman.
Still side by side at the line. Bailey will lead again just by a bumper with 6 to go. Now Salt spins it right in front of Trevor DeBoer. DeBoer manages to avoid, but the yellow flag will come out. There's like one right now as Dinning has been running well on the bottom. So Bailey puts his car squarely in that spot to keep Dinning out of it. As Bailey chooses the inside line for the restart. Here we go, green flag with 6 to go for Bailey.
Bailey, your leader. Dinning tucked right up on the back bumper, and he finds room on the inside line. They'll go side by side down into corner number 3. It's side by side behind them for 3rd with Lampman and DeBoer top and bottom. The top 4 again beginning to pull away from the rest of the pack.
Lampman might be the quickest car on the track, but Bailey and Dinning are racing side by side. Lampman's going to have to figure out a better way around to try to catch and pass them, as Bailey has the edge for now, but here comes Dinning back to the inside. Yellow comes out again for Derek Miller, as well as O'Leary in the 88 and the 81 of Salt. His night goes from bad to worse.
I believe the steam or the smoke coming out from under the hood is from the O'Leary machine, not from the 81 of Carl Salt. It's the problem, though. You get into trouble, you have to restart at the back, and it's a different story racing your way up through the field because you can get collected in trouble. Now, I missed that. I don't know the cause of that. It may have been Salt, but I'm not sure. But nonetheless, when you're back in the pack, and ended up picking up the championship at Merrittville, and sound like a really exciting race, and I think we're setting up for something similar. I know Dave Bailey and Ryan Dinning have a lot of respect for each other, but when a win's on the line, we'll see what happens.
Yeah, the one thing is, though, Bailey and Dinning definitely have raced with each other a lot. They know where each other like to be on the track, and they will not race each other to the point of crashing each other, but get right up to the edge as we get back to green flag here, side by side again for the lead. DeBoer and Lampman are right there as well.
Just get this feeling that DeBoer is sitting there in the catbird seat. These two might have a tangle or a little jingle. It's enough for the 23 to get by. We will see. Solid right there in third. Jim Lampman remains in fourth, and Ken Sargent still running in fifth.
Well, at this point, Dinning's going to have to get on his horse as Bailey has opened up just a bit of a lead now. Dinning trying to get back under him in turns 1 and 2. 3 laps to go now for Bailey at the front of this one.
Bailey leads him down into corner number 3. Dinning working that inside line, just trying to get any advantage he can. Coming down, it's 2 laps to go for Dave Bailey over Ryan Dinning, and Trevor DeBoer. The top 3 have pulled away.
Bailey was just a tad quicker the last time by as he continues to open his lead here. This one may be Bailey's to lose at this point, but Dinning has made up some ground in turns 3 and 4 again.
White flag up in the air this time by. Bailey gains a tenth of a second. Trying to hold on for the win. They work through the lap traffic and down the backstretch for the final time. The champion from 2016 looking to get another win to add to the record books. He'll work it off of 4, and Dave Bailey picks up the win over Ryan Dinning. Trevor DeBoer comes home in third. Jim Lampman fourth. And at the line, Ken Sargent just barely grabs fifth.
Jason Langaro takes 6th. Dave Silverthorne Jr. 7th. Derek Lemaire 8th. Ryan Beagle in 9th. Bailey's got the helmet off. He can hear you now. Put your hands together for Dave Bailey, tonight's Ohsweken Speedway Thunderstock feature winner. Gets a handshake from our top 3, Ryan Dinning and Trevor DeBoer. Everybody's got a smile on their face here. Good racing there. Nobody touched each other at all. And you and Ryan were setting up for a pretty good finish there until that caution flag kind of ruined it. But worked out for you with as you were ready to pull away at the end.
Yeah, that lap traffic was quite entertaining, I guess. The boat got hairy. But look at this. We parked Hagersville, top 3.
Well, Dave, you've pretty much been close to unbeatable the last month or so, and got the track championships done as well. Now it's time for the fun, and you definitely went out there and had some fun tonight, didn't you?
Yeah, this is a bunch of fun here. Racing with 2 guys that you can trust, not having to worry about the politics happening after the races, and we'll go drink beers together and have a good time.
Who do you want to thank for getting you up here to Mobile One Victory Lane?
I think Jibs, I think Johnny at Window Works, Club 54, and my kids, I think they're watching somewhere from this at home because it's too late for them on a school night.
There he is. That's Dave Bailey. Here's your hat for Mobile One for getting the feature win here. We'll go over talk to Ryan Dinning, 2nd place here tonight in the Club 54 number 8 car, and got the win last week. Dave was on the podium. This week the roles kind of reversed, but it was a fun race out there, wasn't it?
Oh, for sure. That was probably the most fun race I've had all year long. Racing with Dave like that for the win, I don't know. It doesn't get much better.
One more week left here at Ohsweken, and feature wins definitely within your grasp again. Who do you want to thank for this fine season?
Most of all, Club 54. We wouldn't be here without them. Gales, my crew, my kids, everybody that helps me here every week.
There he is. That's Ryan Dinning, 2nd place here tonight. Trevor DeBoer, 3rd place here tonight. Another good run for you. The last month or so has been really good for you here at Ohsweken. What's been the difference for you?
Well, I think a lot of it, there was a track crew matched my car. We didn't change a whole lot and just started to come around the last few weeks.
Track surface definitely has been a little bit different the last month or so. The weather's been different as well. Who do you want to thank for getting up here on the front stretch?
Well, my wife and my pit crew here, and my dad and brothers and everybody that helps out in the car. And I got to thank Dave Bailey and help for all the good ideas and making it work.
There he is. That's Trevor DeBoer, 3rd place here tonight. Put your hands together for all of our podium finishers in the Ohsweken Speedway Thunderstocks.
Thank you very much, Tommy. That will wrap things up from here at Ohsweken Speedway and down in Mobile One Victory Lane. Again, don't forget to join us next Friday and Saturday night, the 12th Annual Canadian Sprint Car Nationals Weekend, all brought to you by Aero Express and Burger Barn. Make sure you're here, 7:30 start time both nights, Ohsweekenspeedway.com. For advanced reserve ticket information, all tickets, all seating will be reserve seating. So you want to make sure you get those. And you can also get them as a walk-up as well, both Friday and Saturday night. And make sure you get your camping spaces reserved as well for one huge weekend. Next weekend, September 16th and 17th for Canadian Sprint Car Nationals weekend. Again, go to Ohsweekenspeedway.com for all the information. And in 2 weeks' time, we have the flat track bikes returning. For the first time in competing, they've been here to practice once, but we'll have the flat track bikes here in 2 weeks' time on Saturday, September the 24th. So that will do it from here up in the tower. We want to thank everyone for joining us, all the new fans, all the returning fans. Hope you're back again sometime soon, and hope that you'll bring a friend. And we thank you very much for your patronage here this evening. On behalf of the ownership, the Styres family, all our staff, our crew, our officials, and everyone that makes a race night possible, and on behalf of my co-announcers, Clinton Jeffrey and Tommy Gooch, my name's Greg Kellman saying so long. We'll see you next weekend for the 12th Annual Canadian Sprint Car Nationals.